So it's time to find out what was wrong with that Junkyard Fine CRV. This is it here. It's a 1999 JDM CRV. It's manual, and we got it for about 600 bucks at the Junkyard. So the last time you would have seen this car, it was overheating, and we were trying thermostats and fan switches and a bunch of other stuff, but only to find out that water isn't really circulating. It's probably got a blown head gasket. It's probably got a bad water pump, and now we're going to pull it apart and see what actually went wrong with it. New head gasket. It's just a cheapie timing belt kit and a water pump. So let's get a time lapse going, pull some bits and pieces off this, and when we come back, hopefully we'll have an answer of what went wrong with it. Well, a few minutes later, we've got the timing belt off and the cams out, so let's have a quick look into this. As you can see, it's actually looking relatively clean. There's no crazy wear marks on the cam lobes. I have a link to the PDF for the workshop manual for this vehicle. It'll be in the description, but that's just a quick look at the removing sequence. So let's remove this head. Right, the bracket for the power steering pump goes from the block to the head, so that needs to be removed before you can take the head off the block. Woo! Someone definitely put some stop leak in the coolant system. Doesn't look like that's worked very well. Let's get the engine hoist over here. Looks like she's been burning quite a bit of coolant. Yeah, this thing has gone out in multiple locations. Let's clean this up, see how flat it is. Can't see any damage to the valves. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. There's quite a bit of shit in there. So we'll give those a wee clean as well. Okay, time to torque this thing up, and it's in sequence. So first step is 29 newton meters, and then a final step is 85 newton meters. And once again, the link to this manual will be in the description. Well, we got the head torqued down and the head gasket in, so now we need to move on to the timing related stuff. Cams, timing belt, which means we should probably do some cam seals. So let's chuck the cams in something like a vise maybe and do the cam seals, and then we'll smash this all back together and see if it's actually fixed the problem. Torque spec is 37 newton meters. Ready to go? I'll do the intake cam, and then we'll start putting all this back in the engine. Right, got the cams in, torqued up and pinned at top dead center. Crank's still at top dead center, so we don't have to worry about that. Now I'm going to chuck a jack underneath the engine, lift it up, chuck the belt on, and carry on putting this engine together. I will be doing a kind of how-to guide on how to do this when I do the turbo CRV, but for now this is trying to just get through it, see if this is fixed, and then take it for a road trip. Well, timing belt's on. It was a bit of a dick. Got a fresh crank seal, cam seals, everything's good there. Now I just got to lift the engine back up, put the engine mount back on, and then button up all the last little bits and pieces, like the exhaust manifold, and God, what else? Radiator lines. Yeah. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to start this soon. Got it all back together. There's no water in the system, but we're just topping up with some oil, and then we'll start it and see if it's... See what happens. Purring. Let's get some water in it. Jesus. Fucking motherfucker. Fucking got it sorted. Turn the heater on and start this. I need to torque the crank bolt. I just had it on loose from setting the timing. Not loose, but yeah. Let's see, what is the torque spec on the crank? 177 Newton meters. It's a 19. Well, that was a waste of time. When I first set up the bolt, I used the Aga or the nut fucker, the Milwaukee, on 2, and figured that would be, you know, a reasonable amount of torque, but nothing too significant. So I took the shield off the flywheel, locked it up with an Allen key, which was kind of dodgy, and then managed to get the torque wrench on it, and it was already at torque spec. So, waste of time. Let's carry on. Well, we'll let this bubble away for a little bit, and then chuck the radiator cap on it and bring it up to pressure. So we're sitting at about halfway on the temperature gauge, so hopefully those fans will kick on soon and we'll be at temperature. There we go. Fans just switched on. Made a fucking huge mess of the garage, so now I need to get it on its wheels and move it out of the garage, clean up this motherfucker, and then take it for a road test. See if it's all good. Old mate's just fucking yelling. We got llamas staring at us. Alright. Something I didn't show in the video is that we used a new rocker cover gasket and a distributor gasket. Shortly after getting it running, we put some actual coolant in this thing and actually stuck a pod filter on it just so we could make fucking cool dose sounds. So have a quick look at that. So there it is, the old pod filter. It's a bit hoary, but it makes dose sounds, sucking in hot air. Kept the factory airbox, I'll probably put it back to that eventually. All in $850, and it survived a fully loaded road trip, which you will see at the end of the video. That sheep's going fucking septic. JDMnuggets.com for your stickers. Let's give it the jandle. See if you hear those sick induction dose pod sounds, eh? Oh yeah! Oh, all that dose. All right, Spanky, that's it. We're done. If you're enjoying this, subscribe. It really helps. And enjoy this footage of my birthday. And we'll see you in the next one. Cheers. One last dose. Oh, not bad for a pretty low horsepower engine, really.